Oh, hello everybody, Vicky here. It's been a minute, hasn't it? I sort of stepped away and I haven't got back. Everything's good, everything's fine. Just life just seems to keep getting in my way. Every time I think I know what direction it's going to take me. So I think the majority of you know that watch me that every 4 months I go into hospital. Last 4 months have been pretty amazing until about the 3.2 mark of it. And I'm actually in my hospital room now with my dressing gown on. And this is the last night. So I had a treatment in the theatre today. Tomorrow I just have a treatment, and then after that Graham will take me home for another 4 months. So all sorts of different things have been happening, and I have been taking a lot of film around the place. I have got what I think is just an amazing accomplishment that I've done, that I videoed it pretty much straight after I went home last time. So it's been sitting there waiting for, I've edited it, but it's sitting there waiting for a voiceover, and the follow-on to that hasn't quite been finalised yet. So that's going back 4 months. Not from lack of interest, just as you know, we've been doing renovations, and 4 months in, we're still doing them. So of course one of them was my room, and I've taken film of our house at the moment and how it looks. It's just absolutely ludicrous, the amount of stuff that came out of that room. So we think the electrics, the painting, the door, and the skirting boards are left to do on that. All the walls have been gyproxo now, and the ceiling's been risen, so it feels like you go seamlessly through the door into what is actually part of the house proper, instead of it feeling like a converted garage. And the good news is it doesn't leak. So there's still stuff to be finished up there. The bathroom is operational, and it has been for a little while now, quite a while. But it's in state of what am I doing? I've got 1 inch squares, and I've cut out a bag full of fabric pieces, and this is what I'm up to so far. So this is a relatively new starting on this one. I have a few different English piecing quilts. Would you believe, if I get it right the third time, English paper piecing. So I have a couple, 3 or so of those on the go at the same time. So I've been saying to you, since my craft room got demolished, one of the things that was frustrating me about having a channel was that I was tethered to my desk, and I've talked about this before. And I was just doing paper crafts, which wasn't a problem. But the problem with me is I need to have a few different projects on the go at the same time, and not all the same. So not all patchwork projects, or not all journal making, spinning, weaving, whatever it is that I happen to feel like doing. So I can have quite a few different. In my past life, I used to be able to have one of each going all the time. So if my brain wanted to spin today, I would just pick up the project that I was working on, and so forth across everything that I do. That kind of went sideways when I started sitting at my desk just doing the paper piecing, because that's where the camera was overhead. But Graham's been a great help, and he's got me a little microphone so that that you can hear me away from the iPad, and we've got a stand to put either the camera or the iPad on that I can stand. And I know you all know this because you've seen me doing some cooking videos recently, and I think I have shown you some of the renovations that's been going on. So when I get home, I will do a little bit more footage and show you where we're up to. Now, when Graham came in today, he said that the tiles for the house will be delivered tomorrow. So we're hoping that won't take too long to get going, to get it seen to. And as I say, like it's been going on for a long time now, but we don't like it. We wanted it finished yesterday. The day before would have been even better. But things happen. Things happen to everybody, including contractors, builders, and we're very happy with the builders, and we are patient people. We understand that they do work for insurance companies, so there's some people that need urgent help. This is just a lifestyle for Graham and I. This is just one heck of a mess. We're not in danger of mould or anything, fungus is growing, any sort of being out of our own home because someone's house has become inhabitable because of either fire or flood. So we get that the builder has to duck off sometimes and see to those sorts of jobs to help people that obviously it's work to them, but people who are in dire need, whereas it's just our sanity now. And I'm really not sure that was quite as high as it could have been, some would say. I think the rule of thumb is when someone's barking mad, a renovation isn't going to make them any worse. They've already met the threshold. So we've got good spirits. We're going out to lunch with friends, and I am proud to say that the community centre craft art / patchwork / anything you want it to be, Tuesday has really taken off. Now, like I said, I'm quite happy to be called the coordinator, and I put posts up on the page, and I sort of mother hen everybody and be point of contact to the centre management, who's a beautiful girl called Ashley. But that's where the I ends. It just in a very short period of time, I've taken a group where I went for either the first 2 or first 3 lots of sitting there on my own. Just sitting there. I was doing some gel printing, so I just sat there for a few hours and I just played with the gel plate, and I've got some gel papers, some prints to make into books, which of course is somewhere half started. My whole life is half started. My channel. I don't know. No point me having a New Year's list or resolution list, is there? I mean, everything else in my life's half started. But around at the community centre has grown, and it just goes to show the need in our communities to have something like this available. So we've got a all-inclusive policy. Everybody's welcome to come along. I'm actually been teaching a couple of young fellas how to sew. It's a little bit hard because one's not really that interested, and the other lad, he is just a sponge, and he wants to be making everything straight away, and trying to get him to slow down and just learn what the sewing machine is a little bit of a problem. So I'm going to have to wrangle that when I go back next week. They're beautiful boys, but we've got other ladies that are coming along, and we all help each other. It's got to the stage now where We've got ladies across the board, so we've got a couple who greet newcomers. I've got a couple who don't mind helping, like a couple of sewers that have come in, so women that want to sew that have come in. I think what we just have to do is be disciplined and have 1 hour lessons. Otherwise, that day out that we all need to be amongst our friends doesn't get lost in constant teaching. So I will leave it up to everybody. It's not my call to say you're only allowed to teach for an hour. If you want to teach for 4 hours, that's not a problem. So it's doing exceptionally well, and it's really lovely that it's got to the stage now where it just doesn't have to be about me, because they always say that the fish rots from the head down. And if I was in charge of everything that went on, well, eventually I think the group would suffer terribly. It happens whether it's me or whether it's anybody else. It's just the nature of who we are. So it's been a couple of months since I've made a movie, a video, and I've got stuff. One of the problems that I ran into is that I couldn't record during the day. And what I did record needed a voiceover. So I couldn't do the voiceover during the day because of the amount of noise that was going on. And at night, I just got too tired. I was just too tired to string a sentence together. And I'm not even 100% sure this is going up or whether it makes sense or not. But it all just got a little bit too much for me. So even though every day I want to be doing something with the channel, because there is some exciting things coming up. And of course, since we're doing the Patchworks for Community around at the centre, I've been doing a lot of that work. I shall insert a photo of me sorting some of the stuff. And I've done it at home because I don't get a chance to do it at the centre. So I'll insert a couple of pictures of all the absolutely amazing gifts that we've been given from people in the community. I put a call out for anybody who had fabric that they knew they'd never use again, particularly cottons, 100% cottons. And we were just inundated with so much wonderful stuff. And we're working, well, my goal now is just to work really hard. There is enough fabric and batting to go around now that we can get full quilts out of now. That was just my night nurse sticking just to let me know she's there for the night. So yeah, we've got enough. We've been gifted batting, been gifted big enough pieces of paper fabric to do the backings, and I have one little flannelette quilt on the design board at home, my design board at home. So I'll insert a photo of that. I think because we were gifted so many wonderful things from people, I don't feel that it's okay to ask for anything else until we've got the quilts on, some quilts done. And by the time we finish the quilts that we've got fabric for, we will need more. But we have been given some fabrics that just won't work in a quilt. These quilts are full and needy, but that doesn't make them any less special. So the fabrics that aren't quite right, I've been toying with the idea, and I haven't taken this to the group or management yet, but some of it's really good to make bags, like shopping bags and little coin purses and all different sorts of little things. And I was thinking that, because Graham and I go around and have a market stall to support the community centre, And the last time and every time from now on, we will put up a table next to ours with a display of what's going on the Tuesday. So it's important to me now to get at least one quilt done so that we can put it up and go, hey, aren't we wonderful? We're using all this stuff. So that's been taking a lot of my time as well, because I don't have a limitless, bottomless pit of energy. Unfortunately, I do get tired, and that will never change. So these are my little 1 inch. So they all get joined together like that. And this will make a nice summer one. So as you can see, they're pretty small. And I've got another little hexagon in a plastic bag, but I must have thousands, so I could do it like that. I must have thousands of 1 inch hexagons done already. And it's like, oh, I won't start sewing it together yet because it's made of scrap, and if it's not big enough, I'm going to have different scraps, and therefore I'm going to have a different section. Like I'm going to end up with different sections in the quilt because I've had different scraps at different times. So I think I'm going to have to just go, you know what? I think that quilt's going to be as big as what it's ever going to be, and just start sewing it together and get it going. I've got another little 1 inch hexagon quilt going that is the waste material, the 1950s repo of the waste material that I made my granddaughter Amelia a 16 Dresden plate quilt. So I had it left over, and so I thought that would look really nice, and that would look nice as a scrap quilt. And it's pretty busy. I'm not absolutely sold on it yet. I think what I need to do is just get a solid cream and mix in a bit of colour with it because it's quite dense, the pattern. So I've got that happening. So I've got this surprise for you that I've done that I'm really pleased about. I've got a new toy. More on that when it fits in. So what's going to happen in my room? It's not going to go back in a hurry. Nothing is going to go back in there without me scrutinising it. We're going to get, we found out about makeup. I don't think they're a fridge, but they're like a humidifier. So they keep the temperature, or the one temperature. So we're thinking about getting one of those and having it for all my mediums. But I do have a store shed, which I think does need cleaning out a little bit because there's a lot of stuff in there that's been reclaimed. There's not a lot of new stuff out there. So I have to have a look at what I do have that's been bought and what I've saved, and realistically think about what's going to happen to it. Now I had some sheets out there that I saved from a dumpster. Well, they'll be good now for backings of quilts for around at the community. So I can empty some of that stuff out. And I think that instead of overloading my studio, I will put back what is needed to do projects and then have a good idea of what I've got on the store shed so I can go shopping out there. That's my plan, so wish me luck. I need to make room for 2 more things, and one of them is a design wall. And unfortunately, I think that my old tall boy, I think that it's going to be the first casualty, because it's in front of the wall where the design wall can go. And if I don't put the design wall there, I've got to put it around the other side where my new toy goes. And I think I'm going to lose one of my 8 cube units. So that tall boy fit an astounding amount of stuff in it. And the second tall boy is not a problem because it will go in Amelia's room, all right? Because there wasn't too much furniture in there. So it will go in there. So while I'm trying to whittle down on the excess, I think that what goes into Millie's room, I probably will use at least one of the units for my stuff, because her stuff only takes up a couple of cubes because she changes every time she comes home, and she really likes what we've got for her. She takes it home with her wherever possible. So I'll have some room in there and then in my storeroom, and then I will just go slowly. So we have to make room for me to be able to do more sewing and quilting, because that is something that I've really, really missed. It's always been it's what I started with. It's what I started out with when I was so young. And then the rest, as much as I like it, I need to prioritise and need to, just decide what's important. But we're hoping that we can get a camera fixed at an angle for the sewing, because I can see a lot of quilts into my future. I've got 6 that 2 of them I've started making, and 1, 2, I don't know, there's at least 2 that are waiting for binding and put together, and I've got one on another flannelette one on the design wall that needs to be done as well. I've got another cotton one, 4-inch squares cut into half square triangles. Now I've taken a photo of it, and all my design wall is the heavy duty gym matting that you get at Bunnings. So we got 1, 2, 3 of those. So 2 across, one across, half of one down the bottom. Now it's a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but that's okay at the moment. Then I've just put a flannelette sheet over it, and the flannelette sheet with the friction holds fabric there. You don't need to pin, unless the piece is starting to get too big, of course. So that's working out really, really well for me. But I've got it, as you walk into the front entrance and you look right, here's this design ball leaning over, tucked behind the tall boy. So nothing's where it's meant to be, and honestly don't think another thing can fit in our lounge room. But it's a bit funny, really. It's all a bit funny. Then, of course, I'm a bit drugged at the moment, so it's all good. So just wanted to tell you what was going on, where we're up to. Don't know if I've actually done that. It's certainly not lack of interest. Never lack of interest that I don't make videos. It's just a case of I just can't keep up sometimes. I just not keep up on what has to be done and what I need to do. And for that, I apologise to you. I know I don't have very many followers, but to those of you who are, I do thank you so much. I thank you so very much. And if you could give a like and share the video, let people know that I'm still around the traps. I'm still going to be doing things. And every time I'm down, I will come back. So look out next week, I say. So from me to you, I hope you're happy doing the things that you are doing right at this moment. Please be kind to each other. be kind to yourself, and I will see you next time I'm talking to you. Bye for now.